everybody. Jump into another new topic. I want to have a little series called Busting Myths. So hopefully that would be interesting. And also I record a couple of these videos like on the same day. So if I look like I'm wearing the same clothes all the time, that's probably why. I'm really not. 2-day max on anything. Anyway, today I want to bust the myth that all things in moderation are okay. So first of all, hopefully, just that sentence, if you say it that way, all things in moderation are okay. That really leaves us open to a lot of harmful things. So, for example, I would say cigarettes in moderation, definitely not. Pornography in moderation, no. I would even go so far as to say sugar in its raw form or fructose syrup in its raw form in moderation, no. We'll talk more about that. But anyway, some people have actually quoted that as a Bible verse, and it's really not. The Bible doesn't say all things. It's really all good things in moderation. So if you look at Proverbs 25, verse 16, the verse reads, "Have you found honey? ? Eat only as much as you need, lest you be filled with it and vomit." So, of course, we all know that honey is good. It's a natural sweetener made by nature, and obviously eating honey is not going to kill you, but eating a lot of honey may make you vomit. So I would say all good things in moderation is probably a fair statement, but not all things. The podcast I was listening to that was talking about this is basically when we say all things in moderation is okay, we leave ourselves open for cheat days and for, a license to do unhealthy things. And first of all, I'd like to say, don't cheat on yourself. You wouldn't cheat on your spouse. Well, I hope you wouldn't cheat on your spouse. You wouldn't cheat on your taxes. Why would you cheat on yourself by having a cheat day and putting toxic things into your system that you know are not good for you? For example, when I have too much gluten, I get very bloated, and I know this. And when I have gluten, the next day I weigh, 2 to 3 pounds more than I did the day before. So am I allergic to gluten? No. Do I have a gluten intolerance? Probably. Should I be eating gluten? Probably not. So I feel like those kind of things, we need to really take a close look at what we are doing. You wouldn't tell an alcoholic, oh, it's okay to have one drink, because for an alcoholic, it's not okay to have one drink. And what I want to talk about in regards to that is addictive behavior. So my family has a very long history of addictive behavior. My dad was an alcoholic. He's no longer alive, but both of my grandmothers died primarily from too many prescription drugs. Back in the day, it was Valium, and they just gave it out like candy. Anyway, addictive behavior is very common in our culture, and for me, food was an addiction, is an addiction, probably still. And just so you know, sugar and flour, refined sugar and flour, light up the brain just like cocaine does. So if, and it's legal. So, of course I'm not going to go out and do cocaine, but certainly having a cookie when I'm having a bad day lights up that part of my brain that makes me, feel that dopamine hit. So that's just like an addict, what they do, or a smoker when they take that first puff. Have you ever seen a smoker after they've come out of a meeting and gone outside to light up their cigarette? I mean, you can see the hit. You can see the change in their expression because they're getting the hit that they want. So anyway, for some people, certain things really need to be off limits. And I was listening to a different podcast about addictive behavior. And basically there's 3 levels, low, medium, and high. So for a low level person, say, for example, let's take sugar because that's very addicting, like cocaine. A low-level person, if they had a little touch, or say they ordered a cheesecake and they took 2 bites of it, so it would be like having an itch, and when you scratch it, that satisfies the itch. So a low-level addictive personality could easily just have 2 bites of cheesecake and push it away. Well, I don't know about you, but if there's a piece of cheesecake in front of me, I will be eating it, the whole thing. Even if I'm not hungry, I will eat the whole thing because it's there, and why would I let that go to waste? So the high level addictive personality, which I would definitely put myself in that category, it's like having an itch and you scratch it. So I go to the kitchen and have that bite of whatever a cookie. Say I take one of the Oreos, and then the next half an hour I sit there and it's calling my name. So it's like having an itch and scratching it and making the itch worse. So anyway, I'm going to post some information about the different types of names of sugar, because I find a lot of people in this group have mentioned to me either in messaging or privately about problems with sugar, too much sugar consumption. So I'll post a picture of all the different types of sugar because there's so many different names of sugar. Anyway, the one more thing about sugar really quick. We could probably do a whole segment on this, but there's 2 forms of sugar, glucose and fructose. So glucose, your body can process glucose. So you get glucose from, eating a piece of fruit, eating, something that has added sugar. Usually that's glucose. But if it's fructose, that actually has to be processed through your liver. Your system can't process it. It's like toxic. It's not a food product. It's actually poison to your system, and it has to go through your liver. And that is the huge problem we have right now with younger people getting fatty liver disease, which used to only be an alcoholic. Now there's actually a diagnosis of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and children are getting that disease because of high fructose corn syrup. So anyway, just FYI, those are some information. So I would say everything in moderation is a myth. All good things in moderation. That's probably more sound thinking. I hope this gives you something to think about. And if you do have, if you guys want more information about the addictive behavior, it's through Bright Line Foods, or Bright Line Eating is the name. I can look up the link if you're interested in that. They have an interesting program. Actually, it's really good. It's kind of similar to the food. What is it? Not Alcoholics Anonymous, but the Food Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. Similar to that. It's very stripped down version of eating, and very strict. And it sounds like an awesome boot camp, actually. Wish I had known about it about 2 years ago. Anyway, hope everybody has a great day. Talk to you later.